Hello, in this video I am going to show you the way to make a substitute 45mm M8-125 wheel or axle bolt or rod that fits into the Westinghouse 3600v generator handle, like so. Since Westinghouse forgot to send me another one of these so I could use on the other side of the handle, I had to find a way to make a, well, I couldn't find this type of wheel or axle bolt anywhere in any hardware store. So I decided to find parts to make the rod that I needed with the right measurements or specifications. So as a substitute, I found a M8-125 screw that had a Phillips head on it. I also found a bolt with the same length and the same thread, M8-125, but it was more expensive, so I decided to go with this Phillips head screw instead, which works. And I preferred to use a 50mm rather than a 40mm. Those were my only two options, because I thought that it's better to have a longer bolt rather than possibly coming up short with a 40mm bolt. Then for the spacers, I used also a nut that fits into the threads of the screw, like so. And a washer that made it almost precisely exactly 45mm, like the bolt. When you line it up, it's just right. But this has a shoulder. This wheel or axle rod or bolt has a shoulder on there. If you look, there's a shoulder. So this, even though it's the same length, as this, it's not the same thickness. So what I decided to do was to get some sort of tube that fits around these threads. And I decided, after searching, I couldn't find the tube that I needed anywhere. So I decided to use a pen cap, which just so slightly fits. But there's this part of the pen cap, this pocket clip, that I need to remove, and then the little bulge that attaches to the pocket clip, that's just not the right shape to fit into the handle. So I have to cut it off. I'm going to use this utility knife and cut this off, and then cut this excess knob off. It went flying, so maybe you should wear a set of safety goggles or glasses just in case, so you protect your eyes, because this piece that I cut went flying away. Now I'm going to cut this excess knob off. Again, wear your safety goggles. I should have worn mine. Now I'm just trimming it off to make sure it's round. Now I'm going to check to see if it fits on the inside here. Yes, it does. Just right. Not all the way. There is a rim on this end of the pen cap, but I don't think that that's a major problem. Now, what I want is to cut off the narrow end of the pen cap. I'm going to look at the wheel or axle rod and place the pen cap alongside the shoulder of the wheel or axle rod and see where I need to cut. It's just about that. I'm going to score it with this utility knife around it. Now this takes a little time to score. And mind your fingers. I'm using a cutting board, so I cut down and my fingers are nowhere close to that pen cap while I cut. There we go again, another piece went flying. So this is what I got, and now this is going to work as my tube. I just need to make sure I level it off. There's a little piece that's sticking out. And just a little more. And that's just about right. Now I'm going to put the screw through the pen cap, and I just wind it through like so. Since it's narrower at this end, I need a little more effort. Now I could use a bolt and a screwdriver to send it through. I mean, a screwdriver and a pair of pliers to hold on to the tube, a pair of pliers to hold on to the tube, and a screwdriver to wind it into the tube, like so. Since this is just a little too narrow, I don't think this tube would work. It's taking a lot of effort. I'll have to get my pliers to do it. Okay, so now I'm back with the pair of pliers. I'm just going to hold it. See, I'm going to place the tube part inside the pair of pliers. Now I'm going to use the screwdriver and twist it in. That should send it, and it's going now. I think if I used the regular straight Phillips head screwdrivers, that would probably be easier. But this is still a Phillips head screwdriver, so I'm just going to keep going. Seems to be working. As I turn, the nut is coming down the shaft of the screw, so I'm just going to put it back in place and keep going. Almost there. So I would recommend using, I have a snub nose Phillips head. It would work much more easily than what I'm using right now. This way I wouldn't have to take it out and come back to turn it. I would just be able to keep turning. And then let me check. Whoa. See? Now I have something that looks almost exactly like this. Like that. See? Same dimensions. Now let's see if it works by trying it out. Yes. And there you go. Now I have my substitute wheel or axle bolt or rod. There. And that should hold up until I get my actual replacement. Thank you for watching.